for 2 hours, but hey, I had to come back and hit y'all up for this breaking news that just hit. Diddy, Puff Daddy, that weirdo ass nigga's been arrested. Puff Daddy has been arrested. Woo! Ooh, had to get a refill. Had to get a refill. Had to get a refill. But yeah, Puff Daddy, Diddy, the diddler, has been arrested. And y'all know I've been following this story since last year, since before it became a story, actually. What's up, Stuns? How y'all doing? I've been following this story since before it became a story. This whole Puff Daddy. If y'all know, y'all been following my channel regularly, y'all know I've been following what's going on with Puffy for about 2 years now, year and a half. Going back to before these charges even came up. I've been telling you that he's gonna have court cases and legal cases this year, and now it's here. I'm not gonna be here long because I was talking to y'all for goddamn 2 hours earlier, and I got other shit to do. And I'm gonna talk more extensively on this probably tomorrow when I go live tomorrow. But Puff Daddy's been arrested. He in Manhattan today. Apparently, the arrest was scheduled for tomorrow. That's what they said on TMZ. If you go to the front page of TMZ, as of 7:16 p.m. today, when that was the last update they had, as of 7:16 today, it said the arrest was scheduled to happen tomorrow, but they for some reason, and it's not clear why, they made a move to arrest him today. So I don't know if that's because he's a flight risk. I don't know if that's because, you know, he was possibly going to do something to somebody else. I don't know. I ain't going to act like I know either. Only thing I know is ding dong, the witch is dead. Not dead, but arrested. And it's not clear if he's going to be allowed to bail out. That's not clear at this time. It's not clear if this is something that if he's going to face any kind of arraignment anytime soon. None of that is clear at this time. But this is an Eight of Hearts year, like I've been saying, and the year of revelation, one of the years of revelation. And, you know, basically, if Puff Daddy, for Diddy, in his cards, he's in the Six of Diamonds year. That means karma, karmic debt, karmic, whatever you've been paying, you're going to reap when you get a Six of Diamonds in your card spread for the year. And so that's what Puff Daddy, Diddy, where the fuck you want to call him, he looked like a dirty ass bat. That's what he's going to. And then, like, for those of you who like follow, like, I remember, I gotta give credit, not give credit because I don't quote the nigga, but I just remember watching Art of Dialogue, and I remember Gene Deal saying that it's probably going to happen in September. I forgot which Art of Dialogue that was, but Art asked Gene Deal when does he think Puffy's going to be arrested, and Gene Deal was like, well, what you got to realize is the case. The reason why Puffy ain't been arrested yet is because the case, it probably is getting expanded. And I think that Puffy is gonna get arrested probably September. Yeah. I remember Gene Deal saying like that. Puffy probably gonna get arrested around September. And I remember Reggie White saying the same thing. In my cards, I never got into, I'm not going to take credit, I never personally got into when he's going to get arrested. I just told y'all he's going to be going to court. Reggie White was like, I think The dialogue, I think that he should be arrested by September. And what's up, State Fly? Marquise? Yeah, salute the Jaguar Wright. Like, people be talking shit about her. I love me some Jaguar Wright. I don't give a fuck what nobody's saying. I'm perfectly, I know, I very much so have an understanding. And that's why I have my saying, there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. Jaguar Wright be sounding crazy. She says some things I don't agree with sometimes. But I'm telling you right now, you can call her crazy all you want. That crazy chick be right. I'll tell you that goddamn much. So I met Jaguar one time at the Mavericks Flat on Crenshaw, like 2012. And you know, sometimes you meet people who are memorable. She was memorable. I met a lot of celebrities. Most celebrities are just regular old bland ass people. You forget you meet them. But I remember I met Jaguar at the Mavericks Flat on Crenshaw, like 2012. She had a very memorable energy. But she's been on it. What's up, Linus? Yeah, Jaguar Wright be factual. You can't dismiss her just because she says it in a package that people aren't used to hearing. As people, we got to get more mature than that. People be over here looking for the messenger to wear a 3-piece suit, drive a Rolls Royce, live in, oh shit, I'm about to fuck myself up. People be expecting the manager to like drive a Rolls Royce, live in a mansion and wear a 3-piece suit and have 2.3 kids and a happy life. Like, no. The perfect message, like if the message got to get given, it's gonna get given by somebody who's gonna be willing to deliver the message. Sometimes the message is gonna come from a bum on the streets. You dig what I'm saying? What's up, G Mars? Hey Tuck, they call your mama Buster too. She get busted in her face by every reverend at church, nigga. Your mama been busted on by the deacons, by the usher board. Your mama been busted on by, your mama got busted on by the joy greeting ladies. your mama's just the busted, I should call her. That's why you so angry. You coming in chat rooms angry as hell because you walked into church one day, you saw your mama getting ran down. And you didn't think Bishop Abernathy was like that. But you found out Bishop Abernathy wasn't shit when your mama was up. Back to everybody else. So, when it comes down to it, you know, people like Jaguar Wright deliver messages, you know? You know, people like that, they deliver the messages. And so she's been saying a lot of things that turned out to be right, whether you like it or not. What's up, Kendall? But I'm coming in here because Diddy's arrested. And here's what you need to know next. What's about to happen now is when Diddy goes down, Diddy's going to talk. Okay? Diddy gonna be like, him. He did this. She said that. He did this. She did that. Diddy's gonna talk. Oh, Jay-Z is worse than Puffy. And I read in the cars earlier this year. In my head, I initially saw them coming at Jay-Z around November this year. But Jay-Z is still a very effective tool. So I'm not sure if Jay-Z about to go down yet. Diddy, however, came out with that bullshit-ass Love album, and didn't nobody buy it or listen to it. So the feds was like, yeah, we could take this nigga down. He done. And Diddy said last September, remember he said what he had to say about the small hats? So you know, hey, brother, you can't be a lifelong degenerate and talk about them, nigga. Y'all remember that? Just go back to September 2023. Diddy does a video. Basically, the small hats got angry because they felt like victims off of his creative expression. And because of and then a month later, I read the cards and said that nigga about to get some for real court cases coming his way. And then the first week of November, Cassie files her suit, and then he settles the next day for 30, somehow allegedly somewhere around $30 million. That video came out. Now you got Lil Rod talking about Diddy was riding him down in the Duke shoot. Appreciate the Cash App, AH. So now you got Lil Rod out there talking about Diddy was riding him in the Duke shoot. And you got men and women saying Puff Diddy Diddler is diddlem and doo-wopping. Oh yeah, and he sued that liquor company. Nigga, you are the face. Who the fuck are you? Is what they told him. Yeah, he was talking about but black people, here's what I want to say about this. And we'll probably talk about it again some more tomorrow. We don't have to fall on the sword for every Negro. Some niggas is just foul. And we have to be wise about our social equity. We have to be wise because if you defend everybody, people are not going to take you serious with anybody. Even the white supremacists knew how to let Harvey Weinstein hang. Understand that. The white supremacists understand how to sacrifice some people to keep the system going. Neely Fuller talks about that. When shit got too crazy for Harvey Weinstein, remember they were defending him before? Go back into that video on The View with, what's that white boy name? Corey Feldman. Go look up Corey Feldman's episode of The View when he talked about these dangerous people in Hollywood, and Barbara Walters was like, "Oh, dude, why are you saying that? You're talking about very important people." Barbara Walters was defending these dickheads on The View. But when the shit got too hot, they said, you know what? Harvey, you gotta go. Kevin Spacey, now we may allow you to come back pretty soon, which they're trying to do right now. But Kevin Spacey, you cannot defend everybody because they black. Some people that have been degenerates, you just gotta let them go. And somebody says scriptures talk about that, bro. Y'all don't read. Hey, just me, man. Fuck you and them scriptures. Don't be coming here and bragging on the scripture, nigga. We done all grew up in church, yada 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 yada. Don't be coming here on some all extra. I'm better than you guys because I'm more biblical than you. Fuck you and whatever you read, nigga. And I'm saying that for a reason. People be getting all high and mighty. You don't read the scriptures. Well, because we don't read your fucking scriptures. That's why. God damn it. Some people read the scriptures to find out and be better human beings in life. That's what I read scriptures for. Some of us read scriptures, if you're going to read a scripture, how do I be better today than I was yesterday? That's what people who are honest about Scripture do. They read Scripture to try to figure out how to be better today than they were yesterday. You weird ass niggas read Scripture to show that you better than the next nigga. I read the Scripture and I told you what was coming. You guys don't read. I sit on the third row of the church and my family's been going here for 80 years. Well, so what, motherfucker? Kiss my ass. I can't stand righteous, indignation ass, religious ass people. You're right, ain't nobody even talking about the Bible. Jesus truly said you do the right. Is you a motherfucker? Motherfucker must be a Hebrew. It's like, read. Deuteronomy 5:17 says, in the end times, God is going to sacrifice all men. Read. Sometimes you just gotta bust people's religious bubble. And it's no disrespect, but you gotta understand, everybody don't see your religion the way you see it. Period. So back to what we talking about. What's up, Gray Matter? You see what I'm doing? That's my homie right there, Gray Matter. Anybody that say something negative to Gray Matter got a problem with me, period. But back to what we talking about. Appreciate that, Netta J, for timing them out. Appreciate that. Thank you. But back to what we talking about. Puff Daddy. And, excuse me, every black person isn't worth defending. Take it from me, somebody, hey, Josh Hawkins, chill. This nigga already talking about the lubricant in the commissary. You niggas. All right, let me start reading my chat for a little bit. I got the sorry ass niggas in here now. Let me go back to what I was about to say about Puff Daddy, Diddy. And this goes especially to you guys who are younger, under 30, because y'all went around, under 35, y'all don't know. And if you're not from like either LA, New York, or Miami, you probably don't know as much. But take this from a perspective of somebody from LA who's had either me or my family or people very close to my family has had an ear to the ground of what's going on in the streets of LA since the 1930s. Puff Daddy is somebody who was a known degenerate. What's up, Erica Carroll? You said you want me to pass this way? Puff Daddy is what we know as a known degenerate. Okay? His degeneracy goes far and wide. From him starting fights with people, him getting people deleted off this planet, allegedly. This is what I'm working with right now. I think, yeah. Somebody said they wanted me to pass the blunt. I don't think I got enough to pass. I don't think I have enough to pass. I don't think that's enough to pass. I don't think I have enough to pass. That's only I can't pass my weed. When I get a little more, I can pass. But right now, that's not enough to pass. I gotta smoke. I'm only so. I smoked with Great Matter earlier though. But so, I'm just in a dilemma right now. I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna place it, because this jar, I don't know if I have enough, trying to figure out. See, I got this plus that. I'm trying to figure out where to place. I don't think I have enough of this California green to go around. All I got is this little bit right here and what was in that bag. So I don't know if I have enough to pass. So sorry. All right, back to what I'm talking about. So let me close my jaw. So I don't know if he is somebody that is been Puff Daddy, somebody who you hear the suspicions about the Kim Porter book. It was very suspicious how that woman died. You've heard, you saw, and on top of that, like, just look at his record label and what came out of that. Nobody from as much money as for him to have a house in Holmby Hills next to the Playboy Mansion, over there where houses running deep into the 9 figures, 8 figures for a house, and all of his artists were broke. Craig Mack died broke. You've heard the stories from Mace. You've heard the stories from Biggie's family. It's like wherever Puffy goes, people don't really have, and I'm talking about black people. I don't really have much reverence for black people who treat black people the way we complain about white people treating us. I don't like us getting mistreated. And yeah, Black Rob, the sister from Danity Kane, like, so if you're trying to figure out how to feel about this, on one hand, I understand as a black man, we always think about we are targeted. We are. No one cares about our feelings. Nobody believes us. And that's true. So as a black man, and you tend to always want to side with black men. I know me personally, I'm always gonna side with black men first, like generally. Like my initial instinct is gonna be to side with the black man. I'm sorry, that's and women. I'm sure you're the same way as women. I'm going to admit my faults. My initial, I will most definitely be quick to side with the black man. But when I think about it, all black men ain't right. And when you've been hearing the same consistent stories about the same person since the 90s, what can I say? That's why I never defended R. Kelly. Now, my issue was I defended how R. Kelly was tried. Now, if they breaking laws to go at Puff Daddy, then I'm going to say something because I don't ever want to see the Justice Department break laws. If you break the law, you should go to fucking jail. And if they got charges on you, let what they talking about in the media be what they charging you with. See, Bill Cosby they were talking about rape. Then you found out they broke a whole bunch of laws because he got a woman and gave her a Benadryl that she asked for and then whatever. But at the same time, I can't say Bill Cosby wasn't foul. You've heard stories about Bill Cosby being foul. My issue with his case was they broke the law to get to him. My issue with if you know me, and Great Matter in the chat, she knows me personally, been knowing me for over 20 years. I've never been an R. Kelly fan. Y'all know pay attention, y'all. How much music do y'all see me hear me playing, posting on my YouTube, posting on my Instagram what I'm playing? How often do you see an R. Kelly song? You might see, the only R. Kelly you're going to hear me play is Public Announcement, Honey Love. Give me that honey love. And I that's my shit. And I like Happy People. And I like Step in the Name of Love. Because Step in the Name of Love, Happy People, Those are songs that bring us together, and I never want to tell people to stop playing R. Kelly. But the reason why I bring that up is because I went to Orville Wright Middle School, 1993, seventh grade. Aaliyah drops that summer. And I had the biggest crush on Aaliyah. My God, I love me. When she came with that, at your best, you are love. Nigga, the biggest crush of my life in the seventh grade was some Aaliyah. But I kept noticing this grown-ass man that was always in the videos with her. And then I think, don't quote me on the year, I think it was 94. That's when Aaliyah dropped Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. And as a 14-year-old boy, I was able to connect R. Kelly to these old ass niggas that be coming to school taking all the girls that I like. Young straight men, fellas in the chat, y'all know what I'm talking about. All of us niggas that was squares like me. I didn't bang. All us niggas that didn't bang in school. The girl we had a crush on in middle school, in high school, she was getting picked up by a nigga in a Camaro. And we wasn't old enough to drive. If you a young man, you know that feeling. I can't compete with this nigga. I'm on the bus. My mama coming to pick me up. I'm over here coming to school getting lunch money, and I need lunch money to get the pizza and the cookie. Nigga, I want them Jordans, but I can't afford them, so I'm over here in these Air Maxes. Man, we wanted, man. Ladies, y'all don't know how heartbreaking. That's why we dudes would be so mad at y'all. We wanted to talk to y'all. But no, you wanted to get with Damon. And Damon drive a Ford Explorer. That nigga Damon, 32 years old. And we can't get a shot because you going with that grown ass nigga. That's who R. Kelly was to me when I was 14. When they dropped Age Ain't Nothing But a Number in that video, I said, this grown son of a bitch. This nigga was singing Honey Love for the girls my age. I liked Honey Love. I liked 12 Play when it came out. When 12 Play, 12 Play is bedroom music for my generation. But I like some of 12 Play, but when I saw that shit with Aaliyah, I was like, this nigga weird. I was like, this nigga is one of them old ass niggas that like dating girls my age. Fuck R. Kelly. And so, from the 8th grade on, I just didn't fuck with R. Kelly. I hated it when Ignition came out. That shit sounded like a fucking nursery rhyme. I never liked it. When he did the In the Closet series, I appreciated him for bringing Ronald Isley out. R. Kelly promoted and signed these women that I know that I went to church with, the Johnson sisters, JS. So I was in proximity to R. Kelly. I would hear stories about him directly from their younger brother, Rob, when we was kids. Because JS used to sing in my church, the Johnson sisters. And then you talk about 3-part harmony. Oh my God, them sisters, they sound like the Jones sisters, Jones girls. They sound like the Emotions. And R. Kelly signed them and everything. And I knew people who knew R. Kelly. But in my opinion, he was that old ass nigga dating the girls that was my age. So I was like, man, fuck R. Kelly. So I knew he was a creep, so I didn't fuck with him. But I did not like the way they broke the law to put him in jail. And I did not like the fact that, yeah, R. Kelly's a creep. He fucking with 14-year-olds. That's just nasty. Like, I'm at the age now. I'm 43 now. I was looking at some younger women in their late, like 19, 20, 21. I was thinking, like, I could never. When I see a woman in her 20s to me, that's somebody, if we do talk, I'm going to teach them the game like, hey, these are the kind of niggas you need to watch out. I want to sow into and enrich the minds of the women in their early 20s, late teens. I don't want them, even if I was single. I'm married now, but if I was single, I couldn't see myself in my 40s and all my life experiences being with somebody in their early 20s. They gotta experience people that in their age range so that they mature, and when they get to the one that's gonna marry them, they ain't mentally fucked up by some old ass nigga that broke their heart. Just because a woman is as young and fine as a man, you can down me. You got to go try to smack. Men got to learn how to be around women, and if you gonna work with them in music, work with them, make them a better artist. You going around, you corrupting these ladies. You got all your life experiences, and they at a young age just figuring it out, and you ain't got no intentions on doing right by her. Now, some of you niggas want to marry a woman that's 21. I ain't talking about that. I've seen that work. I've seen people in their mid 40s marry women that are 25 years old and take good care of them. And there's some women who are 25 years old that want to marry a 40. I ain't talking about y'all. I've seen that work. That shit's crazy to me, but I've seen it work. I'm talking about you niggas who know you don't have any good intentions by her other than a woompty wham boomty bam. You can't. As a society, man, nobody's gonna help us. And the only way we gonna get to the next level as a society is if we start to nurture each other and take care of each other and have compassion for each other. But even if you don't want to do that, you can at least not corrupt the next generation. You could at least not do that. You could at least not corrupt the next generation. That's the least we can do. No, Matthew, I don't know no prison system because I ain't never been to jail and I ain't never going. I know the freedom system. I know the system of out and enjoying the sunshine and not being a fucking creep. When, but again, I'm not talking, there's some men out there there's some younger women who just are attracted to older men. There's some older men that are attracted to younger women, but you both have honest intentions on getting married, and that's different. You gonna take care of her. You gonna, I ain't talking about that. I don't like to judge who people marry. That's why I don't tell people what race they should marry. Although as black people, we should know. We should have a certain understanding. But if you don't have that understanding, you wouldn't be good to a black woman anyway. So go marry a white woman, Whatever. I don't dig police. But in that way. But what I do say is you gotta if you know that you just want the smashies, smash somebody that can handle your bullshit. That way you can smash, boom, bam, whoopty wham. The minute, and just tell the truth, fellas, the minute you nut, you be regretting that shit anyway. You be like, what the fuck did I just do? You niggas we know. The minute the boot the back, bop, 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 all your real thoughts come back. So you already know what's gonna come on the back end of that. You know you weren't gonna do right by this person, so why the fuck are you gonna corrupt her mind? Telling her all kinds of sweet nothings, and you know you don't mean it. These are things that we can do to minimize the bullshit within our community. And another step is we cannot elevate those who do this, who practice this behavior, and we know they do. Now, there are some people who practice behavior in the closet We're never going to know they did it. They were like that. R. Kelly, Puff Daddy, especially Puff Daddy. That's easy. Like Diddy has been an open scumbag. How are Biggie's kids broke? How is everybody, just say you don't believe none of these charges. Everybody you fuck with is messed up. Everybody. You gotta be a fucking scumbag if everybody is fucked up. I can understand somebody gonna complain here. Nobody's perfect. You know, you're gonna get good people who, it didn't work out between you and them. That happens. Look, cool, whatever. But everybody, nigga. Oh, that's why Andre Harrell got pushed out and you got pushed up. That's why people like Master P get pushed out and people like Birdman get pushed up. That's why Dame Dash gets pushed out and Jay-Z gets pushed up. AL Dialogue, chill. The nigga said shit pushed in. Fuck you, chat room. Oh my God. Oh shit. Oh shit. Anyway. Oh my God. You niggas are stupid. Oh my God. So back to, before I lost my train of thought. But we, in the year 2024, we got to realize, and if you're on my Patreon, you're on my Destruction of Black music series. Press the number 1 if you're on Patreon and you've been watching that series. I've been showing everybody, I'm 5 parts into the series, how from the money to the sound of the music to the choking of the choking of black music labels to the choking of our distribution, how they systematically taking things away from us in music, and how they replaced, in my next episode when we get into the 90s is going to show how our black owned stuff got pushed out, and then a lot of white companies bought a lot of the remaining black rap labels of the 80s. A lot of that stuff got bought out by white folks in the 90s, and what they did was, what Arista and all those companies did was they when they bought everything up, instead of having a white person over the labels, they put a black person over them. So Andre Harrell was the original for Uptown, but Andre Harrell was still too much of a musician, too much of an artist. He played their game, but not all the way. Andre Harrell pissed somebody off. So he got pushed out and Puffy got brought in. When Irv Gotti, Suge Knight, and Jay Prince were going to get together to do their own distribution, they all got charges. But if you're in my Destruction of Black Music series, I pointed out the details of how distribution was choked. In the Harvard report, they even said in the Harvard report, and I'll give you niggas some game for free right now. In the Harvard report, they said you can allow black people to own the labels, they can own the record companies, they can even own some radio stations, but you cannot allow black people to be in control of distribution. You can go independent all you want, But if you have no one to distribute your records, who's going to hear them? That's how they got James Brown. James Brown had King Records, but they choked his distribution channel. And then the record DJs, like in the 70s, they had the payola scandal where Jocko Henderson and Frankie Crocker, the original rappers, where they all got targeted, and Frankie Crocker basically got kicked off the radio. All of the DJs were taking money, the white ones, but only the black ones got targeted. So for the blacks that had enough money, like James Brown, that had enough money to pay off the DJs to get their music played, those DJs, go look that up, go Google the 1970s payola scandal, Frankie Crocker, and you'll see how they targeted black on radio for that. So that's what happened. So when going independent is as easy as y'all make it seem, and it's even harder now because Spotify and Apple are both influenced by Universal Music. Last year threatened to take their music off Spotify. Basically, if they couldn't influence who was pushing the top. Go look that up. Universal Music Group, which owns Drake, Taylor Swift, everybody, even Kendrick. They own all of Death Row, all of Def Jam, all of Motown, Capitol Records, Republic Records, Post Malone, those of you watching regularly, y'all know they're the biggest boys on the block. They basically go around to Spotify, Apple Music, and these places and put their catalogs up front. And you know, they even, it's only basically three distributors: Sony, Warner, and Universal. Those are basically the only places your music's coming from. And the only leverage Sony has is Beyonce and Michael Jackson. And some other stuff. Other stuff too. Sony has a good catalog, very decent catalog, but right now, Universal's the big boy on the block. So if you're not down with Universal, you're not getting to the push of Spotify. You're not getting to the top of Spotify. If you're not down with Universal, you're not going to get your records aren't going to show up on the suggested albums on Apple Music. If you're not down with Universal, you're not going to get played on XM Sirius Radio. So you can be independent all you want. And there's a lot of great independent artists out there, but you're not getting pushed. And guess what? If you're not down with Live Nation, you're not getting on tours you're not going to open up with the biggest acts. The biggest acts are damn near forced to be with. That's why if you look up, there's finally a lawsuit going on now to break up Ticketmaster and Live Nation. That's why so many concerts have been getting canceled this past summer, because Live Nation's about to have to get broken up. They own a monopoly right now. Go just Google the Live Nation monopoly. There's plenty of YouTube videos on that. So basically, if you're not with, because Live Nation owns the rights, they have exclusive contracts with 80% of the arenas in America, the stadiums, and all of the basketball and football stadium. They all under contract with Live Nation. So if you're an opening act and you want to usually an opening act gets spun off of a bigger act. Stevie Wonder, as he was blowing up, he opened for the Rolling Stones. When Stevie Wonder was the man on the block, Bob Marley opened up for Stevie Wonder. You see how it works? Stevie Wonder is who gave Bob Marley worldwide prominence. But in today's world, you can be an act and want a certain act to open up for you, but if that act isn't signed with Live Nation, so the music distribution means are even tighter right now than they were in the 90s and the 70s. And the people who in the 90s got pushed to the top, your Jay-Z's, your Puffies, your Birdmans, they're all corrupt. And Their demise is baked in the cake. These white folks ain't letting no more people they can't get. They tried. Michael Jackson wasn't that. That's why they had to. That's why it couldn't stick. Because they had to throw it on. They had to throw that jacket on Michael Jackson. That's not who he was. They weren't gonna let no more Michael Jacksons get through. The people you see at the top over the last 30 years, they was corrupt going in. These niggas ain't been shit since day one. You don't have to throw anything on Puffy. You don't have to throw anything on R. Kelly. You don't have to throw anything on Jay-Z when it's his turn. The shit that they have is documented. These white folks just waiting until the right time to pull that plug. So, Kendall over here timing people out. That's right. Yeah, Jay-Z next. I thought Jay-Z was next, but Jay-Z has gone very quiet. And you notice how quiet Beyonce's gotten? Beyonce used to always she used to tour every fucking 6 months, new tour. Beyonce used to be on 2 tours at once. How she release a whole album and don't go on tour? They're quiet for a reason. But Jay-Z still got niggas watching football. You know? So Jay-Z is still effective. So I don't know if he's next. Is it going to happen to Jay-Z? Almost, no. Jay-Z dirty. That motherfucker dirty. Jay-Z dirtier than a pair of Timberlands in the shit factory. But Jay-Z is still effective. He got all these cornball ass niggas watching football again. So I don't know if he's next. You know, so I don't know if Jay-Z is next, because Jay-Z is still very much so effective in his bullshit. Diddy's no longer effective. He sued Ciroc. He made that video hinting at the small hats. And he's a fucking degenerate. And his album sucked. The Love album, that shit sucked. So when they saw people wasn't buying... Now, if the Love album went triple platinum and he had influence, we wouldn't be hearing about Diddy right now. They been knew about Cassie. The same way they know about Kim Porter. But Diddy got a little bit uppity and he's not effective. Vote or Die. Remember Vote or Die? What was that, 2012? 2016? When did he do Vote or Die? Was that 28? Was that? It was the Obama and Hillary kind of years when he did Vote or Die. It worked. He was still effective back then, so there was nothing to take down. Vote or Die worked. Oh, yeah, it started with Kerry Bush, and then it went to Bush, to Obama, McCain. The revolt thing, you know, he got black folks to vote. Yeah, early 2000 to 2008. Yeah, I remember there was a few campaigns that shit worked for. It started under Bush, ended under Obama. And at the end of the day, Puffy's one of the people that helped destroy black music. He was Clive Davis's cat's paw. Cat's paw is what people with power use when they don't want the heat to come their way. That's one of them sorry ass 48 laws of power. And Puffy was that for Clive Davis, and Clive Davis is a cat's paw for them people from alphabet agencies. In the destruction of black music series that I'm talking about, you notice Clive Davis doesn't, before he got arrested, before he got fired from CBS and arrested, Clive Davis helped. No, he signed Earth and Fire. Like, come on, he was major to there. There was a change in Clive Davis after he got arrested. Then all of a sudden, when he came back into music and got back up there, things started to changing under him. Going to when Whitney Houston came around, he said he made a, and I found this out in her documentary, he made a strict edict to all the producers. I do not want Whitney singing none of that George Clinton funk stuff. He curated her career to be crossover. And then when the 90s came and rap started to come, a lot of black people were starting to get suspicious of white record label executives. So they started having black frontmen. Again, Andre Harrell initially. Here come Clive Davis, kicked Andre Harrell out and put in Puffy. We started having niggas as the faces of white labels. When if we think about it, probably the greatest label executive next to Berry Gordy of our lifetime is Al Bell. Do y'all know who Al Bell is? Al Bell is the most important and the best record executive. I appreciate the Cash App, Alexandria. Al Bell. Al Bell is the man that ran Stax Records in the 60s. Stax was a white-owned company, but they entrusted a black man named Al Bell. And Al Bell got this regret white company, and then when Otis Redding died, Otis Redding was their whole everything at Stax. And the Barcades was the backing band. That was the house band. He reformatted Stax, got them out there. He did the greatest music festival in American history, Watts Stax. And then do you know that Stax was never, they never like dropped off? Their last record was that song Woman to Woman. That was their last, they never dropped off. They literally, the government basically jumped in and choked their distribution. They had a distribution deal with Atlanta. They basically got paperwork and fucked out the company. Like in the industry had to conspire to take out Stax. And then to make it even, to make sure to solidify his greatness, when Motown in the 80s was going through what it went through, because remember that Motown had to sell its distribution to MCA in 1981 to stay afloat. They choked out Motown like they choked out the rest. They allowed Motown to still exist, but Motown had to give that distribution up to the white folks. But Al Bell, when Motown rescued itself in the 80s, that was Al Bell. Al Bell not only did it with Stax, when Motown looked like it was about to go under, he went over to Motown and did it again. But we don't even talk about Al Bell. And he's still alive. Al Bell is still alive. Do you know when Al Bell did, go and watch that Watts Stax documentary. When Al Bell did Watts Stax, he said to film it, he went down to the film school, I think at USC, and he went to he put for black film directors. He said he wanted black security. He specifically said, no, if we're gonna do this, we gotta do this not only for black people, but black people have to work the event top to bottom. From security to the camera people to the sponsors. Al Bell consciously made things black. We need to have an Al Bell Day in Black America. We need to have an Al Bell Day. If a record company wanted to win, they would just hire Al Bell. But Al Bell is going to make the music right, and he's going to hire us to do it. They don't want that. So you put in Puff Daddy. You put in, remember what happened to Def Jam when Jay-Z took over? Let's go back. Y'all remember when Jay-Z was running Def Jam for a little bit? What happened? LL Cool J got fired, and all of those, Rakim, his project got sat on. Y'all remember that? Jay-Z ran Def Jam into the ground, then he left. He sat on Rakim, he sat on LL. DMX. Rakim got sat on a few different places. Sat on DMX. Yeah, not Rakim. I said Jay-Z. That was DMX. Rakim got sat on. Who sat on that Rakim album in '09? It wasn't. Was it Dre over at was that Aftermath? Yeah, Dre. But Dre's the front man for who? Jimmy Iovine. You always look at the white boy that the nigga worked for. Because they hire a corrupted Negro. Jimmy Iovine. Remember, Jimmy Iovine is the one that marched Eminem's tape to Dr. Dre's desk. That's how the story goes. People blame Dre, but it was Iovine that introduced Eminem to Dre. If you're a boss that's in control of your distribution, if they tell you you're going to produce him, what are you going to do? And a lot of black acts over at Interscope got shelved to push Eminem to the front. Bilal's second album never came out. That was supposed to be like a live music thing. They had a lot of it. I heard people that have heard that Bilal album. It's a great fucking album. It got shelved. Even Busta, when he was over there with Dre, got shelved. A lot of great black artists got shelved to push Eminem. And Puffy was I just said his name, the white boy. I see his face. Clive Davis's pet Negro. See, when I talk to y'all about this music stuff, man, I give y'all names, dates. Y'all can verify everything that I say. I'm just a nigga with a real good memory. And I've always loved music, so I've always paid attention to the moves when they happen. So when the moves happen, I can recall that shit like that when it's time to. Truth Hurts was Cypher, yep. Truth Hurts, she did my show last year. I did a live show, me and Tashina. I did a music show. And Truth Hurts dropped her new song at my show. She premiered it there. A lot of artists in the late 90s, early 2000s got stifled. Remember when Neo Soul came around? Neo Soul disrupted the system. It wasn't supposed to do that. D'Angelo, Erykah Badu, Maxwell, Jill Scott, Music Soul Child, Raheem Devon. It wasn't supposed to do that. Anthony Hamilton came out, Kim, all around that time. That disrupted the matrix. And at the same time, in the traditional R&B side, well, not traditional, in the mainstream R&B side, A. Marie, Blue Cantrell, Tweet. You had that class. You had all of them coming up. And then by 2005, 6, all you had left was Beyonce. Remember that? 2001, you had Coffee Brown. It was a lot of music out at that time in 2001, 2000. By 2006, all you have is Beyonce on the women's side and Usher on the men's side. Genuine's gone. All of the groups are gone. Next is gone. Jagged Edge is gone. Jodeci's gone. Boys and Men's gone. Drew Hill's gone. Cisco's gone. India Arie. That's right. Blue Country. All of them. Erykah Badu survived because she was at Motown. Jill Scott survived because she was at Hidden Beach. Music Soul Child survived somewhat. He's back making some good music. Music Soul Child dropped Music Soul Child's last 2 albums have been dopey. I need to go check them out. When Music Soul Child had that run, I Just Want to Sing, all those albums, Soul Star. Soul Star, you've come so far from where you started. Don't be afraid. That's my shit. Womonopoly. Met this girl down on Baltic Ave. You could tell how she walked. She was from Park Place. Nigga, that's some writing right there. I asked her what she was doing on this side of town. She said she had some taxes to pay. So I took a chance and advanced to go to find out more about her because there's more to know than the way she sways and the way she moves her clothes and the way she plays this game so cold. That song Womonopoly by Music Soul Child, that's one of the best written love songs to ever be written. Go back, man. Man, I'm about to get off here with y'all and play that shit right now. La la, la la, la la. How did we had all that, man, just in the year 2002, 2003. And then by 2007, you get the Lil Wayne, Beyonce, okay, Usher, Estelle came out with that begging ass song. Take me to New York, I'd love to see LA. Just go do that yourself. I really want to come kick it with you. What the fuck? Where did that come from? Where's Shantae Moore? Shantae Moore dropped off after her biggest hit. Shantae Moore dropped that Shantae's Got a Man, and you didn't hear nothing else from her. That shit was all over the radio. No more Deborah Cox. How did that happen in like a handful of years? I saw Shantae Moore sing in Napa last year. Man, her voice is so goddamn crisp and on point. Yeah, Keith Washington, Layla Hathaway, Angie Stone. You get all of that music was with us in 98, 99, 2000, 2001. And then by the time you get to 2007, the only thing you hear on the radio is, how that happened? Overall, unless it was beyond. Then a couple years later, you get Drake, and all this nigga do was hum. This nigga Drake is boring as Will Downing. It has no personality in his voice. Never has. They They stifled Chris Brown's career, and now all he do is auto-tune. Drake sings with no emotion. He just first name greatest, last, no inflections, like nothing interesting vocally. And y'all be like, that's the best song ever. I'm never like Drake. Thank God for Robert Glasper. He saved R&B when he dropped that Black Radio. When Robert Glasper dropped that Black Radio, he saved some R&B, boy. He had Joe disappeared. Tevin Campbell disappeared. That happened right in front of our nose, and all that shit happened in my party years. Larry will tell you, when my party, in my 20s, nigga, I was out in the clubs. I was in the club 28 out of, how you doing? I was in a club 28 nights a month back then. 28 out of 30 nights a month, I was in the club back in between 2002 and 2015, 14, when I got married. I saw all that shit happen right in front of my face. No more love, you right, no more love music, none of that. Hey, Larry, you in here? Hey, Larry, I want to show you something, Larry. Hey, Larry, you see that? Look at how much that is, Larry. You can't, and you ain't, I ain't gonna let you smoke none of this shit, you hoe ass nigga. You see all that natural herb? And you can't, you see all that, Larry? You see that, buddy? And if you was here, I'll smoke this shit in front of you and beat your ass and not let you smoke shit, nigga. Matter of fact, if Larry was here, I'll roll that nigga a blunt, and then right when he light it to smoke it, I slap that shit out of his mouth and smoke it myself. Nah, you won't. Nigga said Larry's fumigating his beard. Ah, shit. Nah. Y'all don't understand. This nigga Larry, this nigga roll if you gonna smoke papers, this nigga Larry rolls the most perfect papers. I smoke these blunts. He rolls the perfect blunts, man. And so I'll have Larry roll the blunt, because that nigga be rolling some perfect ass blunts. But as soon as he roll that blunt, I puff on it twice, and as soon as it's turn, I'll pass him the blunt, and as soon as he go to puff it, I knock that shit out of his hand. Be like, nah, bitch, it's my weed. I don't have enough to share. Yeah, boy. Homeboy. And you ain't gonna do shit about it because you can't. But yeah, nah, so, but again, every black man ain't worth defending because he black. Puffy ain't worth defending. He's harmed too many black people. He's harmed too many black people. So, you want to be someone that harms us for them? Cool. You can handle your shit when they deal with you. We got to save our equity. We have social equity, and we have to save it, because pretty soon, like always, there's gonna be a brother in that position who don't deserve to be in that position. You know they're gonna screw somebody over at some point. Let's save our social equity to defend that person that's truly being screwed. Because we get screwed over all the time. All we gonna have to do is wait until we take a deep breath. They're gonna screw some nigga over. Let's save our energy to bring justice to somebody who truly deserves it. Don't waste our energy on somebody who has proven to be a degenerate to black people. Don't Don't defend somebody who's been a degenerate to us. And I heard the stories. I heard the Kim Porter stories in 2005 when she was still alive. I mean, 10 those years. I said 5, 2010. I remember hearing some certain things, and you heard things all the time how he treated women and how he treated men and like the Lil Rod stories didn't surprise me because I remember hearing stories about him being a dookie diggler back in the 2000s, doing the, he's been a predator to men. Those stories are, it's just, if you're in LA, and you're hearing from people that like firsthand, because people be around these people. I had this one musician I used to work with back in the day. He told me the story when it happened, when he flew to Miami to work with a particular artist that was signed to Diddy. And they stayed in Diddy's mansion in Miami. And he talked about, this was back when Diddy was with Cassie. He told me back then, he was like, yeah, I was there and that shit sounded like a fucking Royal Rumble. And he was like, Cassie came down the next day with like, just got her food, left, and Diddy was kind of like, yeah, I'm sorry y'all had to hear all that, man, but it's all good. I remember one of my musicians, I've heard like, that's just one of the stories. And not when you would hear these stories, and it's not like you would hear these stories once Diddy got charged. It would be like they'll come back home from the road and be like, yo, man, when I was with such and such, man, we went by Diddy's house. They'd be like, oh, that's dope. They'd be like, man, nah, it wasn't dope. It was, And you'd be like, for real? Like, they don't be having, like, no reason to lie to you. These are stories you would just pick up on over the years because, I'm a musician. Musicians, even though they sign NDAs, but they do. I've never signed an NDA personally. But I don't also, they don't go around telling the world, like, you'll see these musicians, they'll never tweet it. They'll never talk about it in an interview. But you be sitting around just drinking and they be like, yo, man, when I was around, and because you hadn't seen them in 4 months because they've been on tour with this nigga the whole time. So the opening up or doing work at the studio, you remember them putting up, hey, no, yeah, I'm going to go work with such and such for the next, because musicians, they'll go to another part. They'll go to New York. They'll go to Atlanta for 2 months, 3 months to work on a project, 6 months sometimes. So I was like, yeah, bro, I'll see you when you get back to LA. And then when they get back, you just shooting the breeze on shit that happened. And you hear the good stuff too. Artists that go around doing good things, they'll come back and be like, yo, man, such and such, they're a real one. This thing happened and they passed out money to this person. You hear those stories too. It ain't just the bad stuff. You also hear the stories of, yo, man, this artist I was with was down and out, man. They came through, gave them a whoop, 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 whoop. You hear the good and the bad. And it really just depends on what the fuck the person's putting out. That's what you hear. And I know a lot of people. Biz Marti said, can a dose be turned out? Man, bruh, I ain't about to. Probably, I'm sure. I'm sure, yeah. If an adult can flip out, I'm sure an adult can be turned out. But if they volunteer, unless they got raped, they wanted it. That's the way I see it. But allegedly, some of these dudes do be raping these dudes. That happens too. And I'm not going to speak on rape because if a person's body gets violated like that, it can do anything. So I don't even want to touch that. Because if somebody, violation, the way the brain and the mind works, that can work itself out in any way. And so I'll go so far as say anything is possible if somebody's being violated like that. And my heart goes out to anybody who has been violated like that. That's, like I said, I've only worked with people who've been violated, and that fucks me up enough. So I couldn't imagine actually having been someone who's been through that. Another subject. But that's why, you know, it's good he getting locked up. Someone said Badu's or Mama's Gun, both, but Mama's Gun is probably my favorite. Yeah. But I've been here. I planned on this was supposed to be a 15-minute long video just telling y'all Puffy's been arrested. Cause I talked to y'all for 2 hours earlier today. I'm supposed to be getting out into these streets tonight. And I'm over here talking to y'all. I'm supposed to be going. I ain't even took my shower yet. I'm still in the same funky ass clothes I was in when I talked to y'all earlier. I gotta get in the shower and hit these streets. You right about that. Dudes put up with that. Like, people put up with all kind of stuff. That's why, like me, I've always had a job outside entertainment. I've always had disciplines and ways to make money outside of entertainment. So I'm never in that position. Because people who are hungry will do anything. So I made sure that my fat ass was never hungry, so I never got in that position. Hey, Larry. All right. Hey, Larry, I'm gonna call you when this is over with, you hoe ass nigga. I'm gonna call you when I'm on the way up to the Boonty Wham Boonty Bam. You know where I'm going. But y'all have a good one. All right, thanks again, Kendall. Be safe, everybody. And there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages. But man, we ain't gotta defend everybody. People who fuck over black people, let them hang.